Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. Folks, they do it all. Now, I use them for pest control at my home. Obviously, it's right there in their name. And they keep all kinds of bugs and critters out of my house. They can wipe out mosquitoes in your backyard if you need those things gone. Ants, anything here in the summer months, they can take care of that. If you've got birds, mice, snakes, raccoons, possums that have somehow found their way into your home, they got a wildlife division for that. They take care of it. Not only can they prevent them from getting in, they can catch them and trap them and get them out of there, and then repair whatever damage they did to get into your house. And the other thing they do, crawl space encapsulation. Now, you can find this on their website and look this up as well, but it's a great way to keep critters out of your basement, out of your crawl space. It's another great way to keep humidity out of your home. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, there's a reason these guys have been around for 50 years. There's a reason that they are the largest locally family-owned pest control company in all of East Tennessee. It's because they're darn good at what they do. Southeast Termite and Pest Control. All right. Everyone is well aware over the years of how I feel about ESPN's Football Power Index. I think it's nonsense. They like to come up with numbers just for the sake of numbers. They do it with their computer programs, and they say, "Oh, he ranks as this." And you look at their QBR for quarterbacks, for example. It's like the highest score ever was a Charlie Batch game from 15 years ago when he threw 2 interceptions and ran for 3 scores. It's like, what sense does this make? This is crazy. Their FPI thing that we're about to show you, they base a whole lot of that on recruiting over the previous 4 years, which is great if you didn't have a world in which the transfer portal has gone nuts. So it kind of weakens their argument here.
Yeah.
That said, I don't know that their overall prediction is wrong, but let's take a look game by game. Here's what they think about Tennessee's schedule this year. The percentage, that is a percentage chance that Tennessee wins the game. So they feel Tennessee has a 97% chance of beating Bowling Green. So that's over in the right-hand win column. So they see them going 6-6. They see them starting 3-0, then losing 6 of their next 7 games, and then winning their last 2 games. 6-6, I think that's my guess is they're going to be 5-7, but 6-6 certainly not out of the realm of possibility. I would say that 7-5 is a bit much on my end, but you guys good with 6-6? You guys think that's certainly possible and where you'd pick it, or?
That's pretty much the Vegas number.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen maybe, I don't know if I've seen 6.5, but when they do the half a game, that's pretty much what you're going to be looking at.
Yeah, I think 6-6, and to me, there are 3 swing games, which those numbers are close
We'll get to those
that,
in a second, yeah.
But I think 6-6 is fair.
Yeah, I agree, because what we'll get to, if you fall short of 6-6, you've fallen short in the swing games, which I think is really what you can condense the season down to.
This is kind of like an election night. It's like the swing states. All right, let's go to the Electoral College.
And the orange states.
On second thought, let's not go anywhere near politics. Let's go back to that full screen if we've still got it. I might have thrown my director here. He didn't know we were going back to it. All right, in terms of moving these percentages a little bit, 97% is awfully high for a season opener. Bowling Green stunk last year. We wouldn't move that
They
one.
were terrible. Yeah.
0-5.
To me, I think Pittsburgh is a 50-50 game. I do. But if you made me pick somebody at 51, 52%, I'm going Pittsburgh, because Pat Narduzzi, they played UCF. He's seen Heupel's system up against Pitt. And it's not like he's completely thrown by that offense. He knows what he's facing. They had a better team than Tennessee last year. I think Pitt should be favored slightly in that game, if you're asking me.
But they lost a lot of good players, too. That was a real competitive
Guarantee you they
team.
didn't lose as many as Tennessee.
Well, they lost a lot of starters. They're replacing a lot of moving parts, and I think that's why it would be a slight edge.
Get back to me when they lose 30.
They got a quarterback, Kenny Pickett, that started, 33 games in his career. You got 2 good running backs. You got a freshman All-American receiver in Jordan Addison, and I thought they had 15 starters back. So I could see where you could favor Pittsburgh.
So this is Lindy's versus the casino. They're arguing the two bookmakers here. All right, I think that the Pitt thing may be a slight switch in my mind. Josh, you good with Tennessee being slightly favored there?
Because it's in Knoxville, yeah. And Tennessee will have a little bit extra time. Tennessee plays that Thursday. Does that make a big difference? Coaches will tell you more than I would probably. But.
Well, and you're right. You look at Tennessee, certainly last year, home field advantage meant a whole lot for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that could be a jerk right now, just for the sake of being
For the
a jerk.
P in Pittsburgh, that could be a pick-em. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a
Yeah, and
three-point line.
I think it is.
You
All
know.
right, so let's go down. I will be honest with you. Florida's replacing a lot. Now, I don't think Tennessee's going to win, and maybe you move it up to 25%, but I think 16% chance of win, maybe a little low. And that's more. It says more about Florida to me than it does Tennessee. I think they've lost a lot, but that's one where I would tweak it. I don't know that I give Tennessee a 70% chance, 68% chance of beating South Carolina.
Why is it that?
I don't know that I give Tennessee a 4% chance of beating Alabama anywhere.
Yeah.
But what were you
Maybe
going to
that's
say?
a COVID scare percentage. I don't
Why
know.
the Missouri looks just to me looks a little bit
40%.
off with basically a 41% chance.
You think Tennessee's chances should be better than 41%?
I think they should
I
be.
do too. I give them a much better chance to beat Missouri than Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss will score 50. So I think Tennessee's got a much better chance to beat Missouri than Ole Miss. I would switch those percentages.
Okay, I think Tennessee may score 50 on. I mean, Ole Miss doesn't have
Yeah.
much defense either, but yes, I
I'm
I
just
can see
taking
where
the
you're coming
over. I'm
from.
not sure.
Yeah. Anything else there you want to shift, Josh?
No, I think a lot of it, game by game, is about right. You see Missouri and Kentucky. I think those two are comparable, like we talked about in the last segment. And if you can split one of those, so you're hoping it's kind of 50-50 with the two games, that you can get one of those two. If you get both of them, then you've jumped those teams probably in
Yeah.
the Eastern Division.
And to me, this shows why you have to play so well against like a Georgia or a Florida. You've got like a 1 in 6 chance of winning the game. And if you don't play a pretty good football game and score some points, you're not going to win that game. That's just how it boils down. And that's been the problem, especially in the second half of a lot of games last year, John. You talked about home field. Tennessee was a terrible second half team, the way I remember it last year. And I think you can go back and look at that Georgia game. And I think to me, that was as much the turning point of the whole season as anything else.
All right, so the visor's out, so he's trying to draw business into the Chuck E. C. Note Casino.
Casino, you know, with all of these online action, we hear all these ads on radio and
Where's
TV.
your app?
Huh? Well, we're working on that. You know, we're still got the chalkboard going. But, yeah, come down to the Chuck E. C. Note Casino today. We got a cheeseburger special.
Very good. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk neutral site games, we're going to talk future of all opponents, and some games I think Tennessee should schedule in the coming years for your sake. I'll tell you why. Come on back on the Sports Source.